Now, we heard from Tian earlier, but when you take a look at the yuan, it accounts for only 1.7% of global payments. So right now, it's very, very small. How much appetite do you see?
Well, I think there's enormous appetite because equity markets and currency markets, they kind of coexist. And right now, we've got a reweighting of MSCI China within the context of Asia Pacific. Over the next 2 or 3 years, it will get incrementally bigger on 2 occasions every year. Chinese companies, like other companies, pay dividends. Those dividends are often paid in local currencies, well, normally in local currencies, and we need to have more exchangeability into other currencies. So I think this is an inevitable process. We had China, I guess, take over Japan as the second biggest economy in 2010. It's going to overtake Japan as the biggest single equity market in Asia by 2022. So this thing is a natural development from our perspective.
So despite the small weighting in the MSCI, some people call it a drop in the ocean,
Sure.
Still enough reason for you to be long China?
I think there is. I think if you look at the growth rate in China, it's still growing at 6.5% to 7% every year. And every year we get an economic growth forecast which is of that magnitude, and it's growing on a bigger base sequentially. So I think China's here to stay. China's increasingly becoming more of a world actor in terms of its participation in other economies, and for that reason, internationalization of the currencies a natural, I guess, a natural event.
Hi, Jim. This is David in Hong Kong. I just want to ask you about your thoughts on Korea because you seem pretty bullish on the market, although I should note that when you look at the earnings story there, it's either revisions have been down or flat. What makes you so bullish and enough, I guess, to offset that or to overlook that for the moment?
Okay, I think if we isolate the earnings story, we should look at actual valuations. Korea is still trading on a single-digit PE multiple, and in Korea you have some world-class companies with world-class products, with world-class customers. What you don't have is first-world corporate governance. Now, I think there's evidence that that's changing. During the first 5 months of this year, we've had one successful shareholder revolt against a management plan to reorganize its capital structure. That was the Hyundai Group. And here we've seen first evidence of the stewardship code, which was imported from the UK and Japan, actually having an impact on Korea corporate governance. So we think there's a long-term corporate governance reform story, which means that Korea is going to be attractive for years to come.